Hi, welcome to episode 243 of Control Talk, now your smart buildings podcast. Although it's not really a podcast today, it's more of just a little video, touching base with our community. As you know, I was out last week, and Ken Smyers, the man, the myth, the legend, is out this week. His second daughter, Sabrina Marie, has just gotten married, and the family is celebrating. So the man, the myth, the legend should come back ready to go, but we will be back next week for sure. So take a look at these two images if you're watching the video cast. If you're not, if you're a podcast person, check it out. So the question becomes, who would you rather be? And again, if you're a podcast listener going over to Control Trends, this is going to be a short video, so check it out. So one of the themes that we're really going to be exploring here is what we call making the turn. I think with the news of Kiwi Bryant, our friend John Donahue at CCI, just sort of put a bright light on all the changes that are taking place in our industry. They're coming fast, they're coming furious, and we at Control Trends are going to endeavor to sort of talk our community through it. So we have connected with an incredible group that has been through several of these sort of sea changes, if you will, the changes, and they call it making the turn. And they've got data on companies through the last two or three of these sort of big shifts, and on thousands of companies and what they did to become successful, everything from integrators to distributors to manufacturers. And this is something we're going to be bringing to you as time goes on. So stay tuned for that. So here's a question for you. How is Belimo like Vince Lombardi and the early Green Bay Packers? And for those of you who don't know, Vince Lombardi was probably one of the greatest football coaches ever. He coached the Green Bay Packers back in the early days, won the first two Super Bowls, I think it was. But when you talk about great football coaches, Vince Lombardi is your guy. And I remember reading a biography about one of his players, and the player talked about how whenever they won a Super Bowl or did well, Vince Lombardi always gave the wives fur coats. So he acknowledged the wives. And so Belimo, I just got back from the Belimo Platinum meeting. It was fantastic. It is a get-together they have once a year for their distributors. In this particular case, it was in Atlantis. It's always at a top-notch resort. We work basically half a day, and the rest of the day you get to spend with your family. So you're encouraged to bring your family. So I can just say this. My wife doesn't know a whole lot about what I do, but virtually every day I come home, she wants to know how much Belimo did you sell, because she loves those trips. So hats off to Belimo. They do a great job with their Platinum meeting. But also the big news out of the Belimo camp is Belimo is in the sensor business. They've just now getting into it. They've hired David Alaban. You can get sensors from Belimo, but that's not the big news. The big news is Belimo is going to be to sensors, according to them, what they were to direct coupled actuators. When they brought direct coupled actuators in, when they brought the characterized ball valve in, they fundamentally changed how we did actuators and valves. And they are going to do the same thing with sensors. So they're investing a ton of money in that. We'll keep you posted as that goes on. So listen, I'm going to wrap it up right here. The man, the myth, the legend will be back next week. We'll be getting back full steam ahead. But, hey, remember to vote. The nomination ballots are on the Control Trends site, controltrends.com. Go up there quick, nominate. If you see somebody that you want to nominate, somebody that's not on that list, there's a category in each one that said other. Just write the other in. We'll add them to the ballot. We got about 2 weeks left in the nomination process. Then we'll get down to the finals. Okay, so with that, thanks for tuning in. Remember, be bold, stay in control, and stay ready.